Okay, let's talk about artificial intelligence. It is everywhere, but let's be real, the jargon can be a lot. So today we're going to cut through all of that. We're going to demystify 10 core AI concepts by connecting them to the tech you're already using probably every single day. Let's dive in. Seriously, think about it for a second. That little moment of pure magic when your phone just recognizes you, and only you. It feels so seamless, right? Almost like something out of a sci-fi movie. But what is actually happening behind that screen? Well, you guessed it, the answer is AI. But that face unlock feature, that's just the very, very tip of the iceberg. In this explainer, we're going to break down the 10 fundamental ideas that are working just below the surface, and we'll connect every single one to technology you already know. All right, first things first. We need to understand how AI thinks, or maybe a better way to put it is how it learns. This is the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. This is the digital brain that makes it all possible. So, our first and most important term is machine learning, or ML, as you'll often hear it called. This is the big one. See, instead of a programmer writing lines of code for every single possible outcome, we just feed the machine a massive amount of data and let it figure out the patterns on its own. It's literally learning from experience, just like we do. So, you know when Netflix recommends a movie and you end up absolutely loving it? Or when Amazon shows you a product you didn't even know you needed, but it's perfect? That's machine learning in action. It's analyzing everything you've done before to make a really, really good guess about what you'll do next. Okay, now let's level up. If machine learning is the brain, think of deep learning as a highly specialized part of that brain. It uses something called neural networks, which are these really complex systems with lots and lots of layers, inspired by our own brains. This structure allows it to find incredibly subtle and intricate patterns in data. This is the tech that lets your smart assistant understand your specific accent, or allows your photo app to find a particular person in a giant crowded picture. Deep learning is what handles the really complex jobs, the ones that require an understanding of nuance, not just basic patterns. So here's the crucial thing to remember. All deep learning is a form of machine learning, but not all machine learning is deep learning. Think of it this way. Vehicles is the big category, right? And a Formula One race car is a very specific high-performance type of vehicle. It's the same idea here. So what about a totally different way of learning? Well, that's where reinforcement learning comes in. This is all about good old trial and error. Imagine you're training a dog. You give it a treat for doing the right thing. This type of AI does the exact same thing. It gets digital rewards for good decisions and penalties for bad ones, and it just keeps trying until it masters the task. This method is absolutely perfect for situations that are constantly changing. It's how an AI can learn to beat the world's greatest chess masters, or how a robot in a factory can figure out the most efficient way possible to assemble a product. It is literally learning by doing. Okay, so now that we know how an AI learns, let's explore how it perceives the world around it. How does it understand our language, hear our voices, and make sense of what it sees? This is all about the AI's senses. The first sense we'll cover is language. Natural language processing, or NLP, is basically the bridge that lets computers understand human text. And it's not just about reading the words on a page. It's about getting the context, the nuance, the intent behind them. You interact with NLP all the time. Every time you use a chatbot that actually understands what you're asking, or use a translation app to read a menu in a foreign country, or even see a report on whether the buzz on social media is positive or negative, that is all NLP at work. Now, a very close cousin to that is speech recognition. You can think of this as the hearing part of the AI. Its job is very specific. It takes the sound waves from your voice and turns them into written text. That text can then be analyzed and understood by other systems like NLP. And finally, let's talk about the AI's sense of sight, computer vision. This is the incredible technology that lets machines process and understand the visual world. They're not just seeing pixels, they are identifying objects, people, and entire scenes inside of images and videos. And hey, this brings us right back to our opening question. The magic behind your phone's face unlock is computer vision. But it's also how AI helps doctors find anomalies in X-rays and how a self-driving car can tell the difference between a pedestrian and a stop sign. So we've covered the brains and the senses. For our final section, let's look at the hands. How AI takes everything it's learned and perceived and actually uses it to perform tasks and take action out in the real world. Well, when you give an AI a physical body, you get robotics.
These are the machines that use their AI brains to actually do things in the physical world, from assembling cars on a massive production line to assisting surgeons in incredibly complex operations.
Now let's focus in on a really key idea here: autonomous systems. The most important word is independent. And while a lot of robots are autonomous, this concept applies even without a physical body. These are systems designed to operate and make decisions all on their own, like a delivery drone navigating a city or a smart thermostat that adjusts your home's temperature without you ever touching it. Now let's talk about a slightly different approach: expert systems. This is an older but still really important type of AI. See, instead of learning from new data, it works based on a pre-programmed set of if-then rules. Think of a sophisticated online troubleshooter that walks you through fixing a problem. It's just following a rigid decision-making flowchart, exactly like a human expert would. Which brings us to the one you've probably heard the most about lately: generative AI. And honestly, this is a huge leap forward. Instead of just analyzing or categorizing information, this kind of AI creates something completely new. It can generate original text, stunning images, music, and even working computer code, all from a simple prompt. I'm willing to bet you've played with this. If you've ever used an AI that can write a poem, generate a photo of an astronaut riding a horse, or help you draft an email, you've used generative AI. This marks a fundamental shift from AI as just an analyst to AI as a creative partner. So there you have it. From the learning brains to the perceptive senses to the active hands, we've seen how all these concepts build on each other to create the powerful tools we use every day. And it all leaves us with one big question to chew on. As these tools get even smarter and work together, what are the huge human challenges they're going to help us solve next?